Welcome guys to the Meet Damien channel. I am Damien, and today's live stream we're going to be talking about silver making new all-time highs, currently trading at $53.95, about to hit $54 here soon an ounce. We're going to talk about how to actually day trade silver using Coinbase Exchange, and we'll talk about how to trade gold as well, because gold is doing pretty well. Gold, I believe, is about to hit $4,300 an ounce right now, and you know, we'll show you what exchanges you can trade gold on. You know, one of them being Coinbase as well, but there's also another exchange that I use called Mexi, where I can trade PaxG gold token and also XAUT, which are cryptocurrencies that actually that track the price of gold. Okay. But we'll take a look at this. Let's first start off with silver. Currently trading at $53.97. How high could silver go? That's the title of my YouTube stream here. You know, how high could it possibly go? I actually did, if I'm going to zoom out to the daily time frame now, I did a chart and a video. I did a YouTube short and a TikTok video about how high the price of gold, silver could go here. And what I did was I drew a Fibonacci from $53 is where we're currently trading at, down to the $28 level where we saw, you know, silver at about $28 in around April 7th here of 2025. And we do have a Fibonacci analysis to work with. We have a Fib extension level above us. The 1272 is saying that silver could possibly get up to $60. Could that happen? What, later on this week, later on this month, before Halloween maybe? I don't know, but the way silver is tracking, it could possibly do that. Another way I can analyze where silver might go, if we just continue maintaining this trend line that we're respecting as of now, okay, it can give me ideas like where that silver price might hit $60, and it's looking like it's going to be around the middle of November. Okay, middle of November could be where we could see a $60 silver if it just continues maintaining this uptrend, doesn't actually break out of the trend. You know, there's no guarantees that, you know, silver's going to get to $60. It could just go sideways from now on, or even come back down to lower levels here. But if it does what it's doing and keeps this momentum going, we're expecting like $60 silver by the middle of November. You see that the dates on the bottom here. I'm looking like November 14th is somewhere where X marks the spot right now. And then, you know, we do have a 1618 that says that silver could get up to like $68. And if I extend that out a little bit further, if we were to maintain this uptrend, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do that, but it says that the middle of December we could see a $68 silver according to the 1618. So, you know, silver is at all-time highs. It's in price discovery mode, which is great because you just don't know how high the price could actually go. But we do have a tool that is useful here. The Fibonacci is useful in trying to figure out, you know, how high it could possibly go. What are levels that, you know, according to nature and trading psychology, where traders most likely will take profit. You know, $60 is also a psychological number. People are like, oh, silver's at $60. I bought it at 30. I doubled my money. Let me go ahead and sell silver at $60. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get some resistance at $60. But that's what it's looking like so far on the Fibonacci right here. Then you got the 1618 at $68. Then there's a Moonboy target, and I covered this in my TikTok short and YouTube short here. That silver could possibly get to $93. This is the 2618 Fib extension level. I'm not sure if that's going to happen this year. I doubt that it would happen this month, but maybe in 2026 we see a $93 silver, and that is going to just blow people away. This is where a lot of money is being poured in for the silver trade. Let me go into the oscillators here. Let me go ahead and change it over to my normal so I can get my RSI here. You can see here on the daily time frame that silver is overbought on the RSI levels here at 82.54 on the RSI. Doesn't mean that it can't stay overbought here. Okay, Let me just zoom in on the RSI here. But you're doing what you need to do to just continue staying overbought here. You are actually making higher highs on the RSI, so I can't even say that there's bearish divergence starting to form here on silver, because you would need to see lower highs on the RSI. You're actually getting higher highs, which is justifying you going to higher prices still for silver. So silver's getting his breakout. Peter Schiff and his boys, they were right about being in gold and silver. I think people are waking up to that fact right now. But yeah, if silver was to get a pullback, where could it possibly go? You do have this white line. It's called a 21 exponential moving average. That's sitting at $47.57. It looks like it's confluent right with the 786 retracement. If silver gets a pullback, I would expect it to come down to $47. You know, so it would be a shallow pullback from where it is right now. Make a higher low and then launch up to higher prices here. That's if it's going to remain bullish and just have a small correction. Okay, and if it does drop down, just to give you guys an idea like how much of a drop that would be, going down to like 47 bucks, it's going to be like 11-12% drop. Okay, so there's still some risk to be involved in silver. You still could lose 12% of your money here just buying these silver coins, or however you plan on buying silver. Okay, but yeah, the risk is down 12%, and you're risking 12% if you're trying to reach for that 60% target on silver. Your reward is only 10% from where we are right now. However, if you're gonna try to reach for that 1618 above you at 68 bucks, then you're looking at a reward where you could get, like, you know, silver could go up 26% from where it is right now, if it does hit that $68 level right there. But yeah, let's get into how to buy silver, and how to actually day trade and do futures trading with silver. If I go over to Coinbase Exchange does have a silver futures derivatives market. If I click over here, you have to go on Coinbase Advanced, okay? And you have to ask Coinbase to actually give you permission to do this. I think they require your account to have like $30,000 to $50,000 in it. So if you have that already on your account, they can see that, and they would give you access to trading futures here with with Coinbase. But right now I'm looking at the 5-minute chart for silver, and yeah, we're getting the bids right now here on silver. Silver currently trading at $53.59 on Coinbase Exchange. If I wanted to buy some more silver, right? If I wanted to buy a contract, I go over here to where it says buy/long. I go over to I could do a limit or a market order. Let's just say I did a market order, and you just put in how many contracts you want to do. In this case, I would do one contract, and it tells you the leverage is 25x leverage. You don't really get to change it here on Coinbase. You get whatever they give you, and that's 25x leverage, which I think is a lot for a lot of people. The margin that's required for that one contract is 107 bucks. The fee is about $54. It looks like they're doing a promotion here, where they could be charging you more, but they're actually only charging 54 cents for this contract, and the total is $107. If I wanted to buy, I would click buy now, and then I'm in on silver, right, with 25x leverage. And then if I want to sell my my silver contract here, I would just, I could put in a market order, and I would sell one contract here. Okay, if I click take profit stop loss, I could actually put in a take profit and a stop loss, where you put your stop loss in. You say you don't want to lose more than, I don't know, let's say we don't want to be in silver if it drops down to $52. It's about a 3% loss, and if you want to like put in a $60 target here, okay, your take profit would be about 12% from where we are right now. Okay, so that's one way to trade silver, and you can do that here on Coinbase Exchange. They do have more than just silver. Okay, they have gold as well. You could trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP futures, Dogecoin futures. They even have more futures here where you can trade oil in natural gas, for some other commodities besides gold and silver here. Okay, so that's pretty helpful and useful, especially when crypto's having a bad day here. Crypto is dropping down. Let's take a look at the price of Bitcoin real quick here. We just talked about silver. We'll go back to seeing what Bitcoin's doing here. And Bitcoin is getting that drop. Okay, that drop that I was talking about with the potential head and shoulders pattern that was showing up. I have to go into the 1 hour chart here. But yeah, I identified what could possibly be a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. And I know there's some people here that they're like, they don't trade, trading patterns here or chart patterns. But I know other traders do. So I got to pay attention to what the other traders are paying attention to. And they're paying attention to this head and shoulder pattern here on Bitcoin. And if this is going to be a head and shoulder pattern, then you just measure it out from the head to the neckline. This would be the neckline with, you get the left shoulder, the right shoulder, and this would be where the neck is at. You just take that, measure and move this yellow line here to where we could possibly break down, and it's showing that we could possibly break down to Bitcoin. We could go down to 105K. Okay, $105,000 Bitcoin is where I think Bitcoin could go next. If this head and shoulder pattern plays out to the downside here. Okay, another thing that I didn't like about Bitcoin over the last few hours here is just on the 1 hour chart. If I get rid of the moving averages right now, this could be also a descending triangle, and we could be breaking out of this descending triangle right now. All right, this was your base of the triangle, and then of course just measuring down here, you had what was possibly a descending triangle. Okay, so you got descending triangle, head and shoulders. This is not bullish. This is actually very bearish. Okay, I was trying to look for longs here last night, going into this morning. Okay, but I got stopped out, and it looks like they're hunting the stop losses of all the longs that got in, that thought they could buy Bitcoin, and put their stop losses right below 108K. They're coming for your stop losses right now for the longs. Okay. And it looks like the shorts are getting paid today on Bitcoin, and looks like they could continue getting paid where we could see Bitcoin get down to 105K. And this is very unfortunate, but hey, this is what the market's giving us. All right, on the daily time frame, let's see. I'm going to pull up the moving averages here. Do we have some moving average support? We do have a 200-day moving average. This red line here on Bitcoin that could show Bitcoin getting support at 107,406. Possibly. All right, so maybe that might negate the amount of downside that we're about to get, but there's nothing that says that this 200-day moving average can't get violated, and Bitcoin could possibly go lower than the 200-day moving average and actually hit that 105K target. If it does hit that 105K target zone, that is a zone that we identified yesterday as a potential area of support. 105K, 106K was an area that people were buying Bitcoin back here in June, going into May. So you have that going for you here, that Bitcoin could get some support at that area, because these people here that bought back in May and June, they're just breaking even right now. Okay, if Bitcoin actually goes down to 105, 106K. So I would expect some support at that area. I would expect 105K to be where we actually get some support on Bitcoin. But yeah, not looking good. Not looking good for Bitcoin. Let's go back to the silver and gold trade, since that seems to be the trade that's been working so far the past few weeks and also this whole year. Let's actually take a look at the price of gold right now. Price of gold currently trading at $4,286, up $77 today, up 1.85%. Seems like gold is where it's at right now. Gold and silver, for those who are trying to get that exponential breakout to the upside here. Okay, gold, if it was to pull back from where it is right now, it could come down to this 21-day EMA sitting at 3,900, that white line right here. However, I also drew out an uptrend here that I see that gold is in, and I talked about this in a TikTok video and also a YouTube short. If gold was to continue going up to higher prices here and not actually violate this trend and just continue maintaining this trend, it's showing that we could hit like $5,000 an ounce gold sometime in the middle of January. That's like my target date for gold. If gold just keeps doing what it's doing and things don't really change, we could see gold hit that price. And then also, I do have a Fibonacci that I drew when gold was trading at $2,500 back in like December of 2024, and then it topped out at $3,500 here in April 2025. There is a 1618 that says that gold could get up to 4,099. We already hit that target. But now there's a 2618 that says gold could get up to like 5,067. And then for you moon boys out there, there's a 3618 that says gold could get up to 6,035. I don't expect gold to get to $6,000 by the end of this year, unless, I don't know, World War III breaks out and things get really serious. All right. But we could see a $6,000 gold price probably in 2026. That's what the charts are saying for the 3618 Fibonacci here extension. So go tell that to Peter Schiff and the boys about gold price. I mean, they probably think it's going to go higher than that, but 6,000 is showing up on the charts here for the price of gold. Let's see. So I want to show you guys here, and I know I'm getting a lack of views right now, so I appreciate the people that are actually in the live stream right now, because you guys are actually going to be the ones that are going to be benefiting when the markets turn around for crypto. But I do talk about crypto, and no one wants to talk about crypto anymore. So that's why we're talking about the one that's winning right now, which is gold and silver. Okay. But you can get involved in gold if you are on the crypto exchanges here. There is a way to buy gold on Mexi here. If you go onto Mexi exchange, right, this exchange MEXC right here, okay, and you type in PAXG, that's a gold cryptocurrency that tracks the price of gold. And right now, PAXG is showing that gold is trading at $4,300, 4306.25. You could buy and do leverage trading here on gold using Mexi exchange. Okay. And then there's also another gold coin here called XAUT. Once again, this is just another cryptocurrency exchange that tries to track the price of gold. And you can see that this one's trading at $4,295. So you have ways to trade gold on these cryptocurrency exchanges. And then of course, going back here on Coinbase, right? Of course, you can trade gold if you have a futures account with Coinbase. They have gold futures, and this is showing that gold is trading at 4,000. Wow, 4,304 was the last price. So gold and silver seems to be the place to be at as of now, and there's ways to trade that here on Coinbase and also Mexi exchange. For those who are in the stock market, I mean, there's gold miners, and then there's like the gold ETF, right? I think if you type in GLD, it's an ETF that trades the price of gold, and you can see that this ETF right here is tracking a price of $394. It tracks the price of gold, and this thing is also moving up exponentially with the price of gold. Okay, and then there's another one here on the stock market for you stock market guys, the iShares Silver Trust. If you type in SLV, this is another way to trade silver if you're in the stock market, trading at this one's trading at $49.19. And then there's also there's other ways to trade gold and silver. You could try buying the gold and silver miners, the people that are actually mining gold and silver. And one of the popular ones that I used to trade back in the day was Newmont Corporation. They are a gold and silver precious metal miner. Let me just show you the description of this company here. But it says Newmont Corporation engages in the exploration and acquisition of gold properties containing copper, silver, lead, zinc, and other metals. It operates in different geographical segments, including Canada, Mexico, Argentina, Peru. They have mines in Ghana and the U.S. and they've been around since 1921. So this company has been around in business for a while. And look at their price. They're trading at like $97.84 a share. So this is a gold miner that also mines silver and zinc and copper. But you can see that they're going up exponentially as well, with the price of gold and silver going up exponentially. So this is a way to play gold and silver if you want an actual company that goes and mines for it. It looks like this company was trading, you know, back in December of 2024. It was at $38. This is like more than a double, and you got like almost like a triple, right, from where you were back here in December of last year. Okay. So while crypto was having its heyday around Christmas of last year, this gold miner wasn't really doing so good, and that was actually the time to get in, when everybody wasn't really talking about this stock here. Okay, and since then it's been having a banner of a year for 2025, and this thing is just moving up exponentially right now. All right, so I see that my live stream is lacking right now. Unfortunately, no one wants to talk about gold and silver. I guess you guys want to do other things with your time. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. And I'm not getting any requests here. This video was focused on gold and silver. Guys, I can do other things with my time. I can do other things like go ahead and trade gold and silver or trade stocks. I came onto this live stream to help you guys figure out where you can make some money at, and it seems like no one wants to talk about gold and silver, which is actually doing pretty well, or even talk about all the stocks that are in the stock market. I mean, let's go ahead and take a look at the stock market real quick here. S&P 500 actually having not a good day here. Okay, and the Nasdaq is up barely, and the Dow Jones is down. So I understand the market sentiment is a little bit sour right now. No one really wants to talk about the stock market or crypto unless the market's actually going up, right? And you know, for my channel being a small channel, it's tough. You know, I end up losing viewership when people aren't able to make money in the markets in a normal, easy way. But now that things get a little bit tougher, you know, people start to disappear. Okay, I showed you a winning asset right now, which is gold and silver. But you know, we can still look for buying opportunities elsewhere if we missed out on the gold and silver trade. And right now, you know, S&P 500 is currently down today, so this could be a buying opportunity. But the S&P 500 has been maintaining a steady uptrend as well. Okay, if I just measure this out, right, we kind of been in an uptrend for the longest time here on the S&P 500. Okay, we're now starting to come down a little bit here. If we lose this uptrend, then I would start to be worried about the S&P 500 probably dropping down to this 50-day moving average sitting at 6,358. That could be an area where we could get some support for the S&P 500. We haven't actually touched this green line in a while. It's been like up and to the right and kind of almost like no losing days here for the S&P 500 ever since like May 23rd. All right, we've had a really great summer in the S&P 500, and now, like, you know, on Friday with Trump threatening, you know, 100% tariffs, you know, we're finally realizing that, you know, the party could be coming to an end here if Trump is really serious about these 100% tariffs. And if he actually follows through on those tariff threats, then yeah, I would expect the S&P 500 drop down to that 50-day moving average here. I'm going to try to pull up the VRVP, see what the VRVP has to show. This is an indicator here on the right. It's that green and red bars to the right. And the VRVP indicator, a very important level to pay attention to is this blue line. This is the highest volume where you're most likely going to get the most support if you're above it, and we are above it. So if we were to come down, this blue line is sitting at 6,300. So once again, there's that 6,300 number showing up on the charts here. I'd expect if the S&P 500 was to drop down, it would probably be like a 5% drop from where it is right now. Okay, from where we are right now down to that blue line, it's about like 4 to 5%. You could drop down 4 to 5% on the S&P 500. This would be a buying opportunity. I think I would be more excited to get involved with the S&P 500 if we do get down to that 4%. If we do get down to like $6,300 here, okay. But then you have to worry about, you know, the uptrend did get violated if you do go down to that level right now. And you have to worry about, you know, are things changing in the markets if you do drop down to $6,300. But I think $6,300, I'm not sorry, 6,300 points on the S&P 500 is a level for us to be looking for if we want to get some relatively cheaper stocks out there. I'd be paying attention to that level, to the downside here. And then to the upside, I mean, we don't really have anything to go with because the S&P 500 is near all-time highs. We've never been this high before on the S&P 500, okay? But if we are going to go to higher levels here, then what I'll do is I'll draw out a Fibonacci, and we'll see how high the S&P 500 could possibly go. So I think we topped out here like 6,700 on the S&P 500. And I'll just take this down to the lows here in April when we got like 4,800 on the S&P 500. Let me just double check, make sure that's the correct number there. About 48.35. So yeah, in that ballpark area. And I got a Fibonacci to work with here. Let's see. I'm just going to try to extend that out a little bit. And we have a 1272 that says the S&P 500 could get up to like 7,200 before we actually get a rejection or hit some resistance in that area. This would be the S&P 500 going into price discovery mode. And I think, you know, if we do go to price discovery mode, yeah. 1272 fib extension at 7,200 on the S&P 500. I think that's like, what, another 10% move up from where we are right now. If I just measure that out to the upside from where we are. Yeah, it's about like a 9-10% move up. So we could go up another 9 or 10% on the S&P 500 before we get rejected. Maybe come back down to this uptrend that we're kind of creating right now on the S&P 500. But if I was to, you know, if we were to follow along and not really do much, you know, not break the downtrend, but continue up on the uptrend, and we just continue doing what we're doing and nothing really changes here, it looks like we'll get up to that 7,200 level around February of 2026. Is just using trend analysis here. This is where I would expect the S&P 500 to be at in February, somewhere around like 7,200. All right, let's see. We got a few more people joining on the TikTok live stream. Appreciate you guys coming in. We're just talking about the S&P 500 right now. If you guys have any particular stock you want me to talk about, then go ahead and put in your requests for any stocks that you got. I also talk about crypto as well. And we talked about earlier in the live stream gold and silver for Cloyd 111. I am trading silver right now, and I'm doing that using Coinbase Exchange. They have silver contracts. Oh, looks like something just happened here with gold right now. Let's see what's going on with silver right now. Silver taking a drop too. Ooh. Yeah, something's going on with the markets right now. I'm not sure what the news is. I did hear that Donald Trump has something important to say around 3 p.m. Eastern time here. Well, it looks like we're finally coming back to some back to reality here on silver. But this could be a higher low that gets put in. I think, you know, just looking at the 5-minute chart here, you know, this would be a good area for me to try to buy a silver contract. And I just put the stop loss right below the 200 moving average. 200 moving average sitting at 52.36 here on silver. I'm actually going to go ahead and buy some more silver here, guys. So here I go. Market order on silver. I'm going to do one contract here. I'm going to buy about 25x leverage with silver at 100. It's going to cost me about $105 for this contract. And here I go. Buy now. Buy the dip, right? Buy the dip, sell the rip. Just zooming out. Let's see. On the 1 hour chart for silver, you know, anytime you come down to this 21 EMA, right now that 21 EMA sitting at 52.29, seems to be a good time to buy. Even better would be that green line there, that 50 day, the 50 moving average on the 1 hour time frame. That one's sitting at 51.62. So I want to get involved on silver if I can, because it just seems to be like the winning trade going far. You don't really have to think too much about it, which is a little bit concerning, but you know, at the same time, there are macro factors like potential World War III, maybe NATO shooting down a Russian jet that flies over NATO airspace. Then you got Trump threatening to invade or strike Venezuela. Certain things all around the world are causing a lot of tensions, and then on top of that, the government shut down. The government can't afford to pay their bills, and if they do, they have to take out more debt to pay their bills. So you can understand why gold and silver are the winning trades so far this year. I think people are starting to wake up to that fact right now. So yeah, let me see. I take my positions here. I have one silver contract right now that I got in at $52.95. I'm gonna have to put in a stop loss. I'm gonna do a bracket order, and I'm gonna try to game plan where I'm gonna sell silver at. My stop loss, I don't like to lose too much on my stop, so you know, $52.19 would cause me to lose only 20 bucks on that trade, and I would like to stay in the trade till we get to 60 bucks here. And if I do stay in that trade, I'll be making $370 on profit, and I'm only risking $20 on the stop loss here. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'm okay with that. Don't want to lose more than $20 on any of these particular trades here. So now my orders should be showing that I have take profit at 60 bucks and a stop loss at 52.19 for my silver trade here. And let's just get back into, let's see what the 5-minute chart's doing on silver right now. Silver is currently trading at $52.61, kind of ping-ponging up and back and forth here, but I'm expecting the 200 moving average to act as support, and that's sitting at 52.36, and then my stop loss is right below that 200 moving average, so I think I'll be all right in that trade right there. Let's get back in the charts here. See if you guys have any requests here. Being a little bit quiet today here. Okay, all right. People still trying to figure out what to do here. All right. Well, I guess I have to make this a short live stream because it seems like no one wants to talk about crypto or stocks. It's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. There are ways to make money in crypto by actually short selling. I have looked at Bitcoin before, and I identified that we were in a kind of creating a head and shoulder pattern, and also we had a descending triangle here. So the trade to make on Bitcoin was to actually short sell it. And if you were to short sell it, you could take it down to this $105,000 target, that blue number right there. You still got $3,000 more to go, but we're currently erasing everybody's stop losses. Anybody that puts stop losses between like 108 to 109k, yeah, you're getting eaten up here on your longs if you're long in this. Okay, it looks like the trade to make was like back here, you know, around 8 o'clock this morning when we actually saw Bitcoin get up to like 112k. You could have shorted that, because you kind of were in this descending triangle here, and you would have put your stop loss, you know, probably, you know, whatever is acceptable to you, but you don't want to lose more than 1% on your stop loss, 1% of your account on your stop loss. But yeah, that would have been the short right there that you could have played this out to the downside, and looks like Bitcoin came down to 107,600. Can I still make a bullish case? You didn't go down as low as you did on Friday. You did see Bitcoin go down to 107K here. Okay, so this could still qualify as a higher low on the 1 hour time frame here. But yikes, you know. How much lower does Bitcoin need to go before we start getting people excited again to get into some Bitcoin here? I don't know. We got a quiet bunch here on YouTube as well. It's unfortunate. TikTok is being quiet as well. So it's just me here talking. Just talking to myself here. Looking at the charts. And it's very lonely here, guys. Very lonely. I got about 164 views here on TikTok. Appreciate if you guys can hit that like button if you can. Double tap your screen, hit that like button. Maybe we can get some more people to show up here. Mozart Legend, how you doing? I'm doing all right. And David Benjamin just put in a chat here saying he's buying this dip, but you're sweating it. Yeah, it's a little bit tough. You know, this is the toughest time, and usually the best time to buy is when everybody's scared. Okay. There's still potential. Yeah, it's okay to take a nibble here on Bitcoin, but just don't be surprised if we come down to this 105K target that I've already mentioned in this live stream and previous live streams. That would be the measured move of this head and shoulder pattern that I identified here. You know, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. This gives you the measured move is between the top of the head to the neckline here, and you just take this like where we're gonna break down from, and it's showing that, you know, we could see Bitcoin get down to like 104, 105K here. Okay. And also you got a descending triangle formation here. That wasn't looking promising either. You know, I was trying to get into some longs here last night and earlier this morning. But, you know, obviously I got stopped out. You know, got to keep the stop loss tight as best as you can. And they're coming for the liquidity to the downside here. Let's actually look at the liquidity. Let's take a look at what the liquidity looks like on the heat map for Bitcoin and for Bitcoin here. Going over to data coming from Binance. This is a website called CoinGlass, and over the last 24 hours, it's been very brutal with this price going down here. But we ate through all the liquidity to the downside, and there's actually not that much liquidity to the upside right now. Let me go in and turn this to the 12-hour chart. I bet you there is some liquidity, but wow, okay, so actually liquidity, so it seems like the shorts are just moving their stop losses down to lower stops here. This looks like the shorts could get taken out if we come right back to $108,900 here. There's $104 million of liquidation at that level, so probably some new shorts came in, as well as the old shorts probably moved their stop loss to 108,900. And just looking back here at the Bitcoin price chart, we're only about $600 away from that. We'll see on the 1 hour chart for Bitcoin. We are kind of creating a hammer candle, so we have a wick to the downside. So there are buyers are showing up here trying to push the price back up again. If this closes out, we got like 10 more minutes where this hammer candle could close. This could be a price reversal candle that sends us right back up to like 109, maybe 110K here, and just eats up all those shorts that thought they were getting cute here. All those shorts that showed up late to the party, they could get eaten up real quick here if we come right back to 109, 110K here. David Benjamin says liquidity says bounce. Probably. Let's go back to that liquidity, and we'll take a look at the liquidation here. The liquidation for the amount of longs and shorts that got liquidated. And in the last hour, there's been $112 million of liquidation, and the majority of that was the longs. $98 million got liquidated for the longs. Only $14 million got liquidated for the shorts. So the shorts can still get liquidated here. Those are probably the shorts that showed up late to the party. They're probably getting liquidated right now. In the last 12 hours, $500 million of liquidation, and most of that has been the longs, $400 million. And then the shorts are still getting liquidated as well, probably because they're getting hit by their stop losses being too tight. Okay. But yeah, it's a red day in the markets. The longs are paying the shorts right now, and the shorts are getting paid for being short, especially if they took their shorts at higher prices. Okay. But just looking back at like the Bitcoin chart here, you can see like in the descending triangle, it kind of gets hard to short. Like, you know, unless you're able to identify the chart pattern here, okay, and identify that you're making lower high, lower high, lower high on the 1 hour time frame. Like whoever decided to take the short here around 8 a.m. Yeah, you know, it looked like Bitcoin was breaking out of this descending triangle here, but that was a fake out, right? And you could just put your stop loss kind of tight, maybe at 112,700. I think there was a moving average at that level too. Let me go into let me go ahead and put my full data in here and get rid of that, and we'll just get rid of those for now. But yeah, 112,700, 800 was where the 50 moving average was sitting at, this green line. So you could have put your stop loss right above that, because every time we get above the 50 moving average, it doesn't stay there for too long and we get rejected. So I would have put the stop loss above the 50 moving average on the short here. And yeah, you know, entering the short right here, yeah, it could play out, and it did play out. But yeah, we're coming down to this level here, and the buyers are stepping up to the plate now. This is now looking like a price reversal candle on the 1 hour time frame. Could be time to put in a long here, just a scalp trade, and you're trying to see if you can get right back up to 110K, which will put you right back into that descending triangle again. And this could be another fake out to the downside. This could be a bear trap. Okay. So the bulls thought we were going to break out of this descending triangle. That didn't happen. And the bears might think we're breaking down, and this could be a fake out. And that doesn't happen, and then it's like, what the hell? What was this all about? You guys know what the news is like for today? Because I think Donald Trump did say he was going to make an announcement at 3 p.m. Eastern time. I'm not sure what caused this drop here on Bitcoin, but we did get it. Kind of want to bounce back towards silver again, because I am in a silver trade. The only cryptocurrency that looks like it's doing somewhat decent is CoAI at up 6.6% today, and then we got Virtuals up 1.7%. So the AI cryptocurrencies are actually getting some love here, it looks like. Cryptocurrencies related to artificial intelligence here. Silver, what is silver doing? Silver, $53.75. Let me go back in the 5-minute time frame. So we had a little dip in silver. I actually tried to buy that dip. If you saw me early in the live stream, I tried to buy some silver when we hit this, when we came down, made this little low here. Let me see what my silver trade is looking like so far. I'm still in it. I'm up about 15 bucks on that silver trade. I only did one contract. I could do more contracts if I want, but if I hold it to 60 bucks, I should make about $300 on that silver trade if we do see silver go to 60 bucks here. But yeah, I'm just scouting the market for some opportunities here with you guys. Let's see what you guys have to say in the chat. Thank you, Mozart Legend, for liking the live stream. Thank you, Joe, for following me here on TikTok. Mozart says he's going to wait for the dip and buy. No leverage right now. That's one way to play the markets, especially when we don't know what's going to happen next, you know, between Venezuela and what's going on with Ukraine and Tomahawk missiles and, you know, government shutdown. How long is that going to stay shut down? With all this fear and uncertainty, you can understand why the price of silver is, you know, going up exponential, and so is gold. So I understand why you would want to do no leverage, and if you did do leverage, maybe keep it light on the leverage for the leverage trades here. But yeah, totally understandable that you guys would not want to play around with these markets. I get it. I get it. And then even like the S&P 500, I saw that was down earlier today, and the Nasdaq is down. Like Nasdaq having a bad day too, and S&P 500 having a bad day. Going to the stocks, you know, Tesla's down 1%. Nvidia is actually up 0.85%. Apple down 0.7%. Amazon kind of break even. And MicroStrategy, which is a play on Bitcoin, that's down 2%. So not looking good. Not looking good for making money in the stock market unless you're shorting it. But yeah, S&P 500 is down at 6,600. I already talked about this on the last year. I don't know if I need to talk about it again, but you know, just going back to the daily time frame, if the S&P 500 keeps doing what it's doing, you know, I think it could reach 7,200, and that could do that around February of 2026. Could be another 10% move up in S&P 500 here. Daza says, "Oh, G," and he put a rocket emoji. What's rocketing up right now besides gold and silver? I want to know what you're getting excited about over there. Let's go back to take a look at the one cryptocurrency that actually is doing pretty well this week, and that's CoAI. All right, currently trading at $17.65 right now. I'm on the daily time frame for CoAI. I have used Fibonacci to identify some important levels here. CoAI actually came up to like $20.04, so I kind of have to adjust this Fibonacci just a little bit. Let's go ahead and adjust this to like $20. Yeah, $20.04. All right, I think someone just gifted me here. Oh, Crypto Jedi sent me some roses. Thank you, Crypto Jedi, for sending me the roses there. Appreciate that. Let me see if I can just give you a quick shout out here. So over here on YouTube, there is a guy here that is doing a new channel about conspiracy theories here. And if I could just type in like Ozzy Crypto Jedi, what is your channel name here on YouTube? Is it Down the Rabbit Hole, or I'm trying to remember which one it is here. I'm looking at my subscriptions here. I'm trying to give you a shout out too, but you go by so many names here. I think it was Down the Rabbit Hole. But if I type that in, yeah, see, I always have trouble trying to find you here on on YouTube. But let's take a look at your TikTok here if I can real quick. First of all, guys, go ahead and like and follow me here on TikTok if you haven't done so. But let's take a look at the Crypto Jedi's channel here. Anytime you want to load up TikTok, you just do that for me. You're giving me a blank page here. Is it under Ozzy the Crypto Goat for YouTube? Okay, yeah. And then Down the Rabbit Hole is on TikTok. Got it. All right, TikTok. What are you doing to me here? You giving me a blank screen. What the hell? All right, TikTok is being dumb. All right, we'll go back to looking at YouTube. So you said Ozzy the Crypto Goat. Let's see if I can find that here. Yeah, so guys, you gotta check out Ozzy the Crypto Goat here. He's supporting my channel. I'm supporting his channel. This channel is relatively new here on YouTube, so don't mind the fact that it has 108 subscribers, but they are putting out the videos here. They're doing videos about all kinds of conspiracies. They talk about Annabelle the doll, and they talk about whether or not the moon mission was real or fake. Did they fake the moon landings? And then also they talk about aliens as well. And I think they'll also be talking about, like, yeah, see, there's the moon landing right there. Was the moon landing a hoax? And he does a video here with another girl, Let me just see if I can skip over, but him
those
and Jesse, that's
characters
Ozzy right
in-
there,
in
and that's
Germany. See,
Jesse.
We're on TikTok, so we have to be careful.
That's what
we
I'm
say.
saying. That's why I'm just
And
saying.
Down the Rabbit Hole
What it is now,
is,
the
I
stuff
think that's
can
the new
say
channel
about
name
the
here.
moon landing is the
But you can look him up
exact
as Ozzy the
that's
Crypto
what the
Goat.
government has said, that was what everyone
And
put out. So
yeah,
that, I
that's
think
him
we
right
can
there, Ozzy
actually
the
talk
Crypto
about
Goat.
and just
For your conspiracy theorists out there who want to look at some interesting content about conspiracies out there. Let's get back into CoAI. The analysis here on CoAI. CoAI currently trading at $17.34 here. We're up 5% today. If this thing continues going up to upside here, I do have a 1272 fib extension. Looks like $25 could get hit at some point in the future for CoAI, especially if it just continues moving up to higher prices here. Then you got the 1618 at $32. But if CoAI decides to drop down on you, and that wouldn't be cool if it did, but if it did do that, then normal pullback should take you to the 618 at $12.47. If I go into the 4-hour time frame, I think there's a moving average that's sitting right there. And yeah, you got the 21 EMA sitting at $12.56. So I expect $12.56. If we lose our momentum here, we're not able to go up to higher prices here. Look out below. You could see $12.50 here for CoAI. And Crypto Jedi says that there's going to be some new episodes this week on his channel. And I appreciate you coming on here, Crypto Jedi, Ozzy, whatever name we're going to be using today. We're going to have to figure out what I know you call yourself Ozzy. But we got to figure out what we're doing here as far as channel names go. Because it's a little bit confusing. It's just like Down the Rabbit Hole, and then there's Crypto Jedi. I guess Crypto Jedi is your crypto channel, right? And then, Down the Rabbit Hole is your conspiracy theorist channel, right? You got a couple of channels that you're running right now. And then you go by the name Ozzy. Ozzy the Goat. Ozzy the Crypto Goat. Alright. You guys have any other cryptocurrencies or stocks you want to take a look at? I know the market's looking pretty bad right now. I kind of want to see what's going on with the news for the day. Usually if I just go onto like Truth Social, I can get the news that I need to trade with. But if I type in Trump here, let's see what Trump is doing with the news. Anything Trump related news here? It says that Trump confirms that U.S. trade China war as Bassett leaves the door open. So Trump is talking tough. He's being like the bad cop. And then the Treasury Secretary Bassett is acting like the good cop. So they're doing good cop, bad cop here with China. They're like doing the carrot and stick approach here, where Trump hits China with a stick, and then the Treasury Secretary comes in with a carrot saying, hey, well, if you go along with the plan here, we'll actually take the tariffs off you guys. So they're doing that kind of approach right now. I don't really see anything Trump news related here. Let's look at Yahoo Finance, see what's going on out there in the markets that could be moving the news. Because I'm a little bit curious. We had a drop in like Bitcoin and stocks, and I'm wondering what the narrative they're trying to say is for like what's really going on out there. All right. Yeah, I just want the news for today. Give me the news. All right. So here's some news articles that you could look at here. It says Xi's rare earth shot gives Trump a chance to woo back U.S. allies. Mortgage rates move lower but remain stuck in a narrow range here. That's going to be good for the real estate guys. Oil steady as traders weigh India's buying of Russian oil. So India's still buying Russian oil. Gold climbs a record highs as the Fed rate cut bets in U.S.-China tensions. I mean, we already know gold and silver. We already talked about gold and silver earlier. Let's see what is going on here with the rare earth mineral in China, because I feel like that's probably moving the markets right now. It says Xi's rare earth shot gives Trump a chance to win over U.S. allies. All right, what did they do? Did China cut off rare earth to like other countries besides the United States? All right, let's see. Donald Trump's tariff war alienated longtime allies and gave China an opportunity to rule the world. Now Beijing's hardball tactics are sparking a global pushback. China's decision to unveil unprecedented export controls on the rare earth supply chain dominated meetings at an annual huddle of the global economics chiefs in Washington this week. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent hinted at an emerging coalition, saying U.S. officials were speaking with European allies, Australia, Canada, India, and Asian democracies to form a fulsome response. Oh, wow. Okay, and Japan's finance minister is calling for the Group of Seven to unite and respond to China's moves. Australia's prime minister will head to Washington next week in the hope of negotiating a deal over critical mineral supply chains as countries seek to diversify. All that marks an abrupt U-turn from 6 months ago when President Xi Jinping was rallying countries to stand together against the American tariffs. Now it looks like America is getting everybody to come on board with them and go against China. So that's what we have going on here. So looks like it says here, this is a chart. China has almost half of the world's rare earth reserves. They have 44 million. Brazil has 21 million. India has 6.9 million. Australia has 5.7. But I think what's really choking the supply chain is that China not only has the rare earths, but they also have all like the rare earth refineries, or most of the refineries. And somehow, some way, we just ended up becoming hostages to China. And I think the other countries are realizing that if China can bully America, then they'll also bully the other countries as well. So I think people are starting to realize that they need to unite against China. And that might be causing some shockwaves in the market here. Mozart Legend says LOL. What are we LOLing at? A little bit curious here. You said, Mozart Legend, you said on the BNB network all AI is gonna run. Yeah, I'm a little bit curious if Virtual's doing well and Co-AI is doing well. You know, AI16Z is not doing well. I know that's AI related crypto. Let's see. What's another? I think there was like AIXBT was another cryptocurrency that's related to AI. Let's see how that one's doing. That one's down slightly today. So I don't know. There's like a select few. I think anything that has to do with AI agents, like virtuals and like Co-AI, those are the ones that are actually doing well in cryptocurrency world right now. At least doing well today. We got DZ asking about Zora and B3. Let's take a look at Zora. Thank you for the request there, DZ. It's a little bit tough today. Not too many people want to talk about cryptocurrencies because it gives them a bad taste in their mouth. And it looks like we're getting kicked in the teeth again here on cryptocurrency world. But Zora is actually going up today, up 5%. And I'm just zooming out here just to give people an idea as like what Zora has done. Looks like Zora caught the bids here back in the middle of July. We have seen Zora get up as high as like almost 15 cents here on August. Then we had a little bit of a downtrend here, but now we're catching the bids again. And we're kind of creating like almost a bull flag here. If I can just measure that out here. Bull flag, bull pennant, whatever you want to call it. I know there's other traders out there that don't use chart patterns, but there are that do. So if this is what we're going to be doing, why not trade it just like the other traders that are doing chart patterns here? If this thing does go up to the upside, I would expect some resistance. Maybe we make another lower high here on the daily time frame at like $11. I'm sorry, 11.5 cents here. You know, yesterday we topped out just above 11.5 cents, but maybe we make a lower high here and stay in this bull pennant here. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see what the oscillators are showing here. RSI 62.5. That looks okay. They're making higher lows here on the RSI. That's good to see. You have the room to go to higher prices here and still not be overbought, so that's good to see. On the MACD, you are seeing buying pressure was increasing, but now it's starting to die off a little bit, so be careful with that. You want to see increasing buying pressure to see prices go to higher prices here. Stochastic RSI is relatively high, but that's because you're kind of in a rally right now on Zora. And then over here on Market Cipher B, on the daily time frame, the momentum wave has curved up, but is it peaking, or can we go up to higher levels than where we are right now? If it was to go to higher levels here, you would expect maybe a red sell dot to show up once we get to the high overbought area where these red bars are at. We haven't made it to that level yet. We have made it to that level in the past though, okay? Where yeah, you would expect, you know, when you get to these oversold bars over here, you would expect maybe a red dot to show up, indicating that you should probably sell. But you haven't had that yet here on Zora, so that's why I think Zora could still run up to the upside here. And if it does, I'm expecting 11.5 cents in the near future. You know, maybe tomorrow or later on this weekend or something like that. And then maybe you start to see that red sell dot show up here on Market Cipher B. And when that red sell dot shows up, that's when I would, you know, try to take profit, maybe enter a short if I'm inclined to do so. To the downside, you would expect the 50-day moving average, this green line, to act as support. That's sitting at like just below 7 pennies at 0.067 pennies. I would expect Zora to get some support at that area. Okay, but you don't really have that much to work with on moving averages because this is a relatively brand new cryptocurrency. You're just now starting to get the 50 and the 100 here. You don't even have a 200-day moving average because you haven't been around for 200 days for Zora. But if you want some more moving averages, you could always drop down to like the 4-hour time frame, and then now you get some moving averages to help you, give you some guidance as to like where support might be to the downside. And even down here, you know, the 50 moving average on the 4-hour time frame is sitting at 7 pennies. So I'm expecting 7 pennies to be your support zone for Zora. I see Cam is in the chat. Good to see you, Cam. Sorry I wasn't able to do the live stream at the normal time that I do it every day, but yesterday I had a doctor's appointment. I had to go to the doctor's, and here I am today. But I still did a live stream. It was like 4 p.m. is when I did my live stream yesterday, but here I am doing a normal time slot right now. Down the rabbit hole. All right. DZ, I'm not sure what Trump is going to talk about. There's a lot of things going around in the world today. You know, it's a toss-up. We have no hint. I believe I've listened to someone in Discord say that they're getting close to sending Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine. That could be what Trump talks about today. Also, tensions are brewing between the United States and Venezuela. They authorize CIA strikes in Venezuela, so maybe they talk about that. There could be something going on with the government shutdown. Who knows? You know, there's so many things that Trump could talk about. We really don't know. But supposedly something at 3 p.m. is going to happen. You asked about B3 and Toshi. Let's see if I can look at B3 for you now. Is that a crypto? I believe you, because you stick to crypto, right? B3 base. Look at that on Coinbase here. Let's go on the daily chart. This thing is trading at roughly 0.002 pennies, down 5.78%. I'm sorry, not down, up 5.78%. 5.78% today. What is this? This is ugly, in my opinion here. This thing started trading back in like February of 2025, and it's been in a downtrend. Lower highs, lower lows, lower low, lower high, lower low. Continue to make lower highs, lower lows. This does not look very promising to me here. Is there anything on the RSI that shows that you're getting at least bullish divergence, that buyers are stepping up to the plate here? I'm going to have to adjust the oscillators here real quick. On the RSI, I don't really see bullish divergence. So you don't got that going for you. But here on the MACD, I do see there has been selling pressure, obviously, but selling pressure is dying down. Maybe you might get a MACD flip over the next few days or this weekend, and you might see some positive price action to the upside for base. So that's like the only saving grace that I see on the oscillators here. If this thing does go to higher prices, you have resistance, and that's going to be where your movement averages are sitting at. You get the 50-day movement average at 0.0027 pennies here. I would expect resistance from that. Also resistance, if you ever do make it up to the 200-day movement average, I would expect resistance at, we'll just say 3,352. However, that's almost like a 50% move up if you can get up to that level there. But lower highs, obviously lower lows. And could you end up making a lower high at the 50-day moving average and then get sent down? I don't know. This is not that promising in my opinion here for base. You got a lot of work to do here. Okay. I would not get bullish on this asset until you get above the 2-day moving average, this red line. Once you get above 3,300, then you can start making a bullish case for this asset here. Let's move on to Toshi. Yep. Okay, Toshi. And if that's for the if that's it for the request here, guys, I think I'm gonna end this live stream earlier than I normally do, because I get it. You guys feel defeated, and the likes and views are going down for me right now, as I believe it is for other financial YouTubers and influencers. So, to be expected when the markets are down. I'm pretty sure they'll show up again when the markets go back up again, as they always do. All right, Toshi currently trading at 7,130, down 3% today. Looks like Toshi's getting some support off of this daily 50-day moving average. That's sitting at 68.45. That's a start. Also, 68.45 is where that 0.236 retracement's at. So that was the level to get in at on Toshi. The Fibonacci traders were paying attention to that level, and so was the moving average traders. They were paying attention to that level as well. And if that's as low as you're going to go on Toshi, then maybe you can start working your way back up to the 0.382 at 7,700 or the 0.5 at 8,480 here. But, you know, the further down you go, the harder it is to get up to these higher fib levels here. I'm not sure if we get up to like 9,200. We need to, you know, see a few more green candles here to get up there, definitely for sure. And then the 786 retracement looks like it's getting further away from us as well. Okay, but I do like what I see here, getting support off the 50-day moving average, and also, you know, can you close above it? That's like the next positive sign that we need to see. Can we, not only can we bounce off of it, but can we, you know, close above it? You don't want to close on it, because that does not look good, you know, because it could have some more follow through to the downside for the next couple of days if we actually close at that 50-day moving average. See what the oscillators are showing. RSI. Yeah, RSI is low at 44. Relatively low. Could go lower, especially if we go to lower prices here. MACD, increasing selling pressure. I don't know if I like that. Right, your selling pressure is increasing from what you did a few weeks ago here. But could that be hidden bullish divergence, right? On the MACD, right? Because what we're doing right now, if we just continue maintaining higher lows here on the price, you could be getting hidden bullish divergence using the MACD here. You got hidden bullish divergence possible, which would just mean that you're going to continue going to higher prices. It's a continuation if you get hidden bullish divergence. Nothing too crazy here on Market Cipher B. You are still starting to see a little bit of red for the money flow. Okay, but if money just starts pouring into Toshi again, then you know that would just end up being a higher low compared to what we saw here in early September. And yeah, Toshi might be we'll see. Right now you're getting a flip on the money flow. You're getting money flow starting to show red. Okay, but this thing could do a quick U-turn here. You just gotta see what happens. Okay, if you see a green buy dot show up on Market Cipher B, then you know you're getting that U-turn to go up to higher prices here. And this could be another higher low on the daily time frame for Toshi. All right, I see John316's in the chat and Lauren A is in the chat as well. Hit the like button, says Lauren. Don't forget to do that, guys. Okay, you're watching, but you had me on mute. I appreciate that, Lauren. And yeah, and even if you are watching, I still don't know you're in the chat until you actually say something. But I'm assuming you were one of the one or two people that were in the beginning of the live stream. Before I started getting a few more people here. DZ says he heard XRP got a lot of spot ETF deadlines this month. Yeah, there were spot ETF deadlines this month, and the same thing with Solana, but that's all getting kicked down. That can is getting kicked down the road right now because of the government shutdown. It's really messing things up on the ETFs here. David says, no defeat here, only scalps. Yeah, today's like a day where you do low leverage trading or even no leverage trading. Maybe just work on building up your spot bags if you can. John wants me to take a look at Jasmy. And John, you say you're scared. And now you're not asking if we're in trouble. You are saying that we are in trouble. With the Blade Runner music in the background, he says, Mad Max vibes. Alright, let's move on from Toshi. We'll take a look at Jasmy here. Looking at Jasmy on the daily time frame here. Oh my god, what is this? Was this Friday's candle? Yeah, Friday. Jasmy dropped down to like 400. Oh my god. Now we're at a penny here. Jesus. Okay. Kind of looking at like a naked chart right now. But Jasmy has seen better days, obviously, in December of last year. Okay. It's funny because like the altcoins were doing really well in December of last year, and there was like some gold miners that were creating lows for the year, and now the gold miners are like exponentially up, and now the altcoins are at the bottom of the barrel right now. It's just so funny how things have changed over the past year. Not funny, I guess, because some people have lost money, but other people have made money. The people that bought the gold miners were making money. They're making money right now. And I talked about it in my live stream. If you guys want to replay my live stream, I showed you guys how to buy gold and silver on Coinbase Exchange and how to buy gold on Mexi Exchange. And then for those of you who don't have cryptocurrency exchanges, I showed you how to buy gold and silver on the stock market. And I showed you guys how to buy gold and silver miners on the stock market. So very interesting. You guys might want to check out the replay on my YouTube live stream for today. But anyways, we are looking at Jasmy. Jasmy, just all right. Let me just roll this out here. What I'm seeing right now, descending triangle for the most part, kind of like Bitcoin. Bitcoin's in a descending triangle. You had something like this going on here, and the descending triangle is kind of bearish, especially if you're coming out of it from a downtrend. This is even more bearish than I would like to see. Okay. If you keep knocking down on the floor, you're gonna eventually break through like a trap door, and I think that's exactly what happened on Friday. You broke through it like a trap door, but you're still hugging up against this descending triangle, the floor of this descending triangle. I would put a stop loss in. Because, I mean, you already seen how vicious and brutal it can be if we lose this level here on Jasmy. We could go down to a half a penny on Jasmy, and you lose about 50% of your investment. So now you have to figure out, whatever you have left in Jasmy, how much more are you willing to lose? You gotta figure out your stop loss here, okay? If we just put the stop loss below the low here on Saturday, where we came down to like 890 from where we are right now, you put your stop loss at like 890 or 880. That's about a 12% stop loss, okay? Which is a hell of a lot better than losing, you know, where we came down to like a half a penny here. You'll lose about 50% of whatever you got left in Jasmy if you don't put a stop loss, you know, tighter than 800 or 890. Okay, you could lose 50%. You saw like a preview of how much you could lose here on Friday. Okay, do you want to stomach that again? I wouldn't. I put my stop loss right over here, where the lows were on Saturday at like 880, and then you're only losing like 12 or 13%. All right. And then you're hoping that this thing doesn't break to the downside. You're hoping that this thing actually breaks out to the upside instead, right? Or maybe just goes sideways for now. But I'd be careful with this descending triangle that you're in on Jasmy. Let's see what the moving average is doing. The moving average is clearly above you, so you don't even have any support on the moving averages here. All you got is this crazy candle wick to the downside. Now this is Binance Exchange. I don't know. It might be different on other exchanges. Let's see what Jasmy looks like on Coinbase here. On Coinbase Exchange, you still had that candle wick to the downside on Friday, but they only went as low as like a little bit above a half a penny, like 771. But still, I mean, I would put the stop loss below Saturday's low at 900, and you don't have to risk too much on Jasmy there. DZ says, didn't Binance delist Jasmy? I don't know. But with that candle wick on Friday, they might as well have delisted it. Who wants to be in Jasmy when you can lose 50% in like one day? That's almost like delisting in itself just with price action alone. Laureen Haley's in the chat. She says, what is my opinion on Bitcoin? And Laureen says charts are looking great. Yeah, I mean, gold and silver is looking great on the charts. I've already talked about that earlier in the live stream. But you asked about Bitcoin here. So I already talked about Bitcoin earlier in the live stream, and I think I'll probably just finish off by talking about Bitcoin, like we normally do on every live stream here. But on the 1 hour chart here, I've already identified this on Bitcoin that we were kind of creating a head and shoulder pattern here on Bitcoin. And the measured move on that head and shoulder is you just measure from the top of the head down to the neckline here. You take that measured move to where we could break out of the that right shoulder. And it's showing that Bitcoin could drop us down to 105K. That blue number right there, okay? 105K is a level to be looking out for, because if I zoom out again onto the daily chart, We talked about this on yesterday's live stream, and we talked about it today. I still see some support here at 105K because you have people that bought here in June and back here in May earlier this year. They bought Bitcoin at 104, 105K. They're just going to be at break even. They're still in profit right now, but they're not going to be sweating bullets and getting anxious until Bitcoin drops below 105K. And then they'll be clicking the sell button and giving up on Bitcoin. Yeah. But right now on the daily time frame, Bitcoin has come down to this 200-day moving average for the most part at 107,410. We came down to 107,600 here on Coinbase Exchange. I want to stay above that 200-day moving average. I want to close above it. But yeah, this is not looking good for Bitcoin, obviously. Where are those green candles? We need some green candles. There's this red is just disgusting. Topped out at 116K on Monday, and that was it. So I'm not liking what I'm seeing here with Bitcoin, but it's not game over, in my opinion, until you lose that 200-day moving average. Then I think that rally, that bull run is over. And you have to worry about, all right, how bad of a bear market are we going to get if we're going below the 200-day moving average on Bitcoin? Do I think Bitcoin could go to $90,000? Yeah. If we lose 105K, I think, yeah, we're going to start seeing $90,000 Bitcoin. You might get some last-ditch effort to like try to keep Bitcoin above $100,000, but that might be futile because, like I said, the people that bought here in May and June, once they start losing money, they're going to get out. And that's going to cause more selling pressure to the downside. You do have like right here at like 95, 96K. Some people that bought Bitcoin in April around that time. Also right here in February of early this year. They're going to be the next group of people that are going to try to prevent you from going down to lower prices because they're not going to click the sell button because they'll be at break even at like 94, 95K. But you know, now you're working down to lower levels here. You're not making the case to go to higher prices. You're making lower lows and lower highs if that's the case. And let me go back into the 1 hour time frame here because I did identify this descending triangle. Another thing I don't like is this descending triangle here on Bitcoin. Okay, it looks like you're breaking out to the downside on that descending triangle. Right, so we got a head and shoulder pattern and a descending triangle. It's like all things are pointing downward, not upward for Bitcoin. Ugh, it's disgusting. Okay. However, I'll give you one bit of hope here. We kind of almost, yeah, actually, we actually did a really nice candle here. We kind of created a hammer candle here. This is a reversal, price reversal candle on the 1 hour time frame. If we can just get some more buying pressure in Bitcoin, this could be a fake out, a bear trap for the bears. And you could see Bitcoin come back up to 109, 110K. I mean, we're almost at 109K right now. I talked about this earlier in the live stream. I saw this hammer candle about an hour ago, and I was like, hey, we could get a price reversal here. All right, the shorts are there might be some late shorts that are about to get stopped out here. Whoever like shorted here, we could come back and just eat up their stop losses. I have looked at the liquidation map. And we'll look at it one more time here for the Bitcoin liquidation heat map. We're going to look at the 12-hour time frame, the most recent price action here. And yeah, I have identified this yellow area at 108,900. There's $104 million of shorts that could get liquidated. If we just go up like a couple $100 more out here on Bitcoin, those shorts are going to get taken out. Actually, I think we already did take them out. Let me go into the 15-minute time frame. We already did come out to get those shorts. So some of these shorts are losing money. All right, and there's still some more more liquidity to the upside at 110,600. And on the downside, there's really not much liquidity. I think the longs are just dead in the water. I don't think they can kill the longs any more than they already done so far. But there is liquidity upside. Some more at like 110,600. So I think we could see, this is your bullish case here for Bitcoin. We could see a fake out here for the bears. We could see a bear trap here and get right back into this descending triangle one more time, just to frustrate the crap out of everybody. This could be a buy to dip opportunity for the longs here. We got trade intuitions in the chat. So trade intuition, are we still not doing chart patterns here? Because that head and shoulder pattern looks like it's trying to play out to the downside. And then on top of that, I have identified a descending triangle here on Bitcoin. So a lot of things look pretty bearish here. However, I just literally just went over this just now, but we have liquidity to the upside, not that much to the downside, and this could actually end up being a bear trap, and we could get pushed right back up to like 109, 110K all over again. We actually did get up to 109K about like 30, 40 minutes ago. So we came for those stop losses from the shorts that showed up late to the party. We came right back up, said, haha, we'll take out your stop losses. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we come back up to 110K. 110,600 was where the other liquidity was sitting at on Binance Exchange. We got $66 million of shorts that could get liquidated if we push it back up into this, right back into the descending triangle here. And this could be a fake out and a buying opportunity for the longs. DZ says no tax on crypto and Bitcoin $200,000. That'd be nice. I'm not sure if that's gonna happen. They talked about it, but they gotta first see if they can get the government to. We gotta first start up the government. We gotta first get them back open again, and then we can do a no tax on crypto. Laureen Halley says thinking 97K. 97K if we lose 105K. I think the next level down is 105K. If we go down lower, 105, 104. And if we lose 105, 104, then yeah, 90, 96, 97K. Right, just going back out, zooming out here. Looking at previous price action. 105K is the next level down. Then 95, 96, 97K. It's where people bought back here in April. And a good majority of people bought back here in February, January, December of last year. There's a lot of support at 95, 96K. Matter of fact, if I just turn on the VRVP, I bet you it's going to show you the high volume node at that area. Yeah, the point of control is at 96K. So over this past year, a lot of people bought Bitcoin at 96K. That's like the ultimate bearish target. I wouldn't get too greedy on being a bear and shorting below 96K, because we got to chew through that support zone there before you can see Bitcoin go even lower than 96K. But guys, that's gonna be it for this live stream. I got some things I need to do today. As always, I'm a very busy guy. But I appreciate you guys coming on to the live stream and spending your time here with me and asking about these various cryptocurrencies. I suggest you guys go to the beginning of the live stream. I did talk about gold and silver, how to buy it on Coinbase Exchange, how to buy gold on like Mexi Exchange using PaxG and XAUT. I even showed people how to buy gold and silver on the stock market with the ETFs, the gold and silver ETFs, and then I even showed you how to buy gold miners and silver miners with that Newmont Corporation. So a little bit of everything for everybody here. I did talk about CoAI earlier, Laureen, on this live stream. I would suggest you take a look at my YouTube live stream. You can go onto the Meet Damien Discord, right, and you can watch the replay of this live stream on the Discord here. I believe you're in Discord right now, so just click on that YouTube link and you'll be able to watch the replay of this whole live stream here. But just to quickly Oh shoot, what did I do? I did the wrong thing here. Just to show you CoAI real quick here. I think CoAI, just summarizing it, it could hit that, you know, if it's bullish, it's going to hit that $25 target to the upside. And if it's bearish, I think we're going down to $12.50, okay? Or if we're going to get a bigger pullback on CoAI, I think $12.50 is for that Fibonacci showing that it should be some support there. And I think also on the 4-hour time frame with the moving averages, you got the 21 EMA at like $12.50. So that should be where you could get some support, a buy zone for CoAI if it does come down to that level. But anyways, that's going to be it for this live stream, guys. I will see you tomorrow, same time. Yeah, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern time. And we'll just see what the markets are doing then, okay? But for now, you know, good luck trading and investing in whatever asset you get into. Take care, guys.
Once